This is going to be a very different style video than what you usually see me posting on here about doing YouTube for business owners and helping other businesses grow their YouTube channels, because that's what I do. But I wanted to make a different style video today. I wanted to make a video about something very personal to me and very, very attributing to what I believe is the most successful decision I have ever made in terms of business, life trajectory, my overall health. We've got the beautiful view of the San Diego airport and the San Diego Bay. In the background, I've got some black coffee right here. I'm at my family's place just visiting for the weekend. And I've just been reflecting a lot lately. And, everybody loves to talk about how, if, you're doing this business, you should only be posting this kind of content and this polished videos. But realistically speaking, my goal has always been impact as an entrepreneur. And whether that's impacting other business owners worth millions and millions of dollars through my advice to help them start and grow and scale their business through YouTube, or it's some 18-year-old who's stuck in a college classroom for the first time in their life with the decision of, do I really want to even do this? And I don't know how loud that is with the airplanes, by the way. I'm not cutting this video up. I'm just keeping this video as an authentic conversation as I just do laps around this beautiful yard. This yard's amazing, guys. This is where I grew up. Just look how beautiful this is. But anyway, I'm going to sit down here and I'm going to put my coffee down and we're going to have a little chat. So, where do I even want to begin with this is kind of a burning question. By the way, the handle of this mug just broke. So it looks like I'm drinking out of some. I just grabbed it. So the topic that I want to talk about today is alcohol and how it impacts you as a business owner. And I think this is a topic that isn't talked about enough. And I could go on here all day and talk about, you can add this much revenue to your company with YouTube. You can do this on the back end. You can sell better. But you guys, realistically speaking, there are certain decisions that I genuinely will stand by being more valuable than any move you could make on the chessboard of your company. Any move you could make with Facebook ads, any move you could make with YouTube, your sales team, whatever it might be. I want to share with you guys what I genuinely believe was the best business decision I ever made, which was giving up alcohol. And before I get into this, I want to preface that I do believe there is a lot of very good advice out there and a lot of very bad advice out there. And the one clarifying thing that I want to mention is that anyone that tells you that giving up alcohol is easy is fully lying to you. This is an absolute journey, but the journey is what makes it beautiful. So I want to give you guys my story as to why I don't drink anymore and why I believe it will be one of the greatest decisions you ever make. And if you find value in this, amazing. Please shoot me a DM on Instagram. Give me a comment down below if this impacted you and you're going to give this a shot. I would genuinely love to hear. I genuinely would. I want to build a place not only on this platform that gives value to what I do with YouTube videos for these businesses that I work with, but I want to inspire other business owners to be the best, most successful entrepreneurs they can be through both my services and my content. So going back to the end of 2025, this was when this all started. And I was living in kind of a loop of a cycle, right? When the weekend would roll around, I would do what a lot of people do, which is go wait in line for a bar and go get some drinks with friends and de-wind. And this was my excuse / vice of basically being like, I've had a long week. I'm stressed out. I've been doing all these things and, doing all this work. I'm gonna go have a drink. I'm gonna go get some drinks with my friends and it's gonna be, a good time. And I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll be reset. And I would do this usually on Friday or Saturday, typically Friday, because I usually would go to church on Sunday. So I would try and avoid drinking on a Saturday because I didn't want to be hungover in church. That's generally the worst feeling in the world. But I started realizing at the end of 2025 that I was trying to live the most optimal life possible. I was trying to be the best Christian, the healthiest person, the most in shape I've ever been, the most, just like clear-minded as well. And I realized that I was doing all these small things, all these little things that on paper just made me look like this productivity guru that you see telling you to take a cold shower at 4 a.m. every day on YouTube. But no, I digress. I go to sit down one day and I'm writing in this journal, reflecting on my life. And I'm like, how optimized is my life if the biggest problem I can't cut out, which was going out and drinking and, you know, putting things in my body that weren't going to promote the healthiest version of me? So New Year's rolls around, and I said my New Year's resolution is going to be to give up alcohol entirely. And I've always been somebody who is all in or all out. I do believe there are people out there that can go have a drink socially and can use alcohol to amplify experiences. I think that's incredible. Typically speaking though, for me, when it's come to giving up a habit, I've always had to go all in or all out. I'm either doing the habit or I'm not doing the habit. So this whole have a drink at dinner here and there, I go to a lot of dinners. That's a big entrepreneur thing, I feel like, is every week you're at a different dinner with a different group of business owners and you guys are all shooting, you know. So that was a big thing. And I failed a few times. But what people don't talk to you about is the journey of who you become in the process. I am not perfect. I have had alcohol a few times this year. I can count the number on one hand how many times I've had alcohol this year. But genuinely, that's why I'm happy to make this video, because I want to share the journey of it and who you become in the process. I haven't had alcohol it's been months now, but you guys become a different version of yourself when you stop drinking. And you have to do it for a certain amount of time. I typically think 30 to 60 days to really unlock that version of yourself. The longest I have, you know, really seen this play out, I think where you get the mental clarity, has been probably about 60 days. And I think the shortest is actually around 20. But you are going to become the most clear-minded version of yourself, where you are so aware of everything around you in your business, what's going right, what's going wrong, what you may need to improve on. And it's going to just help you scale infinitely. I felt like since I quit alcohol, I have ended this cycle of Friday weekend rolls around and then I'm recovering from a hangover, and then like by Tuesday I'm back to being pretty optimal work schedule, really dialed in, really locked in with my work, really clear-minded of, okay, what's next step do I need to take? How can I get this person that I'm working with just the best result possible? And then the weekend would roll around again. Go out, I drink, then I'd lose the clarity, and then I would go listen to, you know, these videos and get motivated again, and I would come back, and it was a cycle. There's one person in mind who talked about this, Blake Rocha. I'm sure a lot of you guys know who that is. A lot of you guys follow me, know who that is. He made a video about sobriety, and he talked about the cycle as well. And I think it's a really dangerous trap that we can fall into, where we don't realize the cycle we're in until it's gone. So I don't tell anyone on this video, you need to give up drinking. If you're one of those people that has a good relationship with it and feels like it's, you know, a positive impact on your life, maybe you have a glass of wine at night with your wife, or you do something fun like that, I commend you. That's incredible. This video is for the people that know they have more potential to unlock in their business, more potential to be the best version of themselves possible. Now, I started making decisions very differently when I stopped doing this, because I really looked at my life and I was like, wow, what do I really want? What do I really want to achieve? And the biggest thing that I realized was that I am my own gas tank. And I know that sounds really weird, but we all get to decide what we put in our body and how we go interact on a daily basis with the world. For a while, I used the excuse of, oh, I'm going to DoorDash dinner tonight because I'm working. Oh, I'm going to, you know, go grab some drinks because I've had a long week and it's going to help me de-stress, and then I'll be more focused tomorrow because I had a break. The level of productivity that I felt when I started cooking every meal, which, guys, really doesn't take much longer. If you're one of those people that's like, I hate cooking, get meal prep. Like, most entrepreneurs watching this, you guys, you have enough money to afford a meal prep service or a chef to come cook you clean, good food. There's no excuse. There's really not. You're being lazy, and I'm going to call you out for it if you're on the DoorDash trend. But there's the aspect of drinking as well. You know, there's the aspect of put that in your body. It's going to harm you. And the level of clarity and happiness that I felt, you know, and everyone has ups and downs. I have stresses on a daily basis. I have a very high stress tolerance for somebody my age. But my ability to process that stress logically and to go on a day-to-day basis and just be happy and in the moment and clear-minded is so important. When I was drinking and I would face a problem, I would simmer in it for multiple days, right? I would be like, wow, this is, just something that's consuming my mind and I can't get off of it. But now it's like I sit down at a table with my journal, I write down my problem, and I instantly know the answer. Instantly know the answer every time. I just now have to go take the action accordingly, but I instantly know what the clear path moving forward is. And I think that's something that a lot of you guys could benefit from. Maybe you're stuck at 30K a month trying to get to 100 and you're trying to figure out how to optimize your close rate. And you're trying to figure out what YouTube videos you need to have your setters make sure to send the leads. Or maybe you're just trying to get your first client or your first lead. I don't know. I want this video to help every level of entrepreneur. And a lot of my videos now are geared toward very high level entrepreneurs that can implement the advice I give for YouTube. But I truly do want this video to impact everyone. And the other thing that you guys will realize when you quit drinking is that problems are good. I've been thinking about a lot recently how the low lows that we go through as people are there to make us appreciate the high highs. Because if life was nothing but positive highs and great moments, there would be nothing to make us happy, because nothing would ever go wrong that we'd have to solve, that we'd have to overcome to get the emotion of happiness. We never have to face a challenge in our life, so we would never be happy. You will always have problems in your life, and that's a beautiful thing, because you get to wake up every single day and you get to go chase them. And instead of sitting there in an unclear, foggy state of mind trying to argue with the world, you can go take action. I'm gonna give you guys a quote. We lost one of the greatest people that I've ever had the pleasure of being friends with. Someone that I looked up to as a young entrepreneur, and also someone who eventually became a friend. And I think this person summed this up better than anybody I've ever heard. Ben Bader, first of all, I love you, man. Rest in peace. But rather than argue with reality, learn the rules to shape it to your wishes. And we can sit in mental fog and do things like drinking to kind of numb that. Or we can put ourselves in the most clear-minded state possible to operate at the highest level, to go wake up and be blessed enough to wake up in the morning and conquer our problems. And whether you have a 500K a month problem, 100K a month problem, or a 0K a month problem, you're able to do that and you have that opportunity. It's about optimizing your life so much that you are the healthiest version of yourself and giving yourself the best chance to succeed. To hammer this home, I realized very recently through doing something that a lot of people would call pretty nuts. But I'm going to tell you guys about it. And I've never spoken about this online before. I've kept quiet about it. A lot of people that follow me for YouTube, especially on the business owner side, know who Jeremy Haynes is. A lot of people probably who follow me just for the entrepreneurship advice side of things also probably know who Jeremy Haynes is. One of the best people in the info marketing space, one of the most knowledgeable people in the info marketing space. But if you've watched Jeremy for a while, he's mentioned this on a few podcasts and a few of his different talks. And this stems from another entrepreneur named Rob Dyrdek. If you guys don't know who Rob Dyrdek is, Rob Dyrdek was a professional skateboarder and also the founder of a TV show called Ridiculousness, which we all probably watched as a kid. If you're a dude, you all probably know who Rob Dyrdek is from Ridiculousness. But you may not know that he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And there's a famous interview clip with him where he was like, or the interviewer, what made you successful? What made you the version of you that's worth $250 million? And he looks at this camera and he goes, I got hypnotized for success by a guy named Dr. George Pratt in La Jolla, California. Now, I actually heard about this through Jeremy talking about it, because Jeremy talked about his experience with Dr. George Pratt. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is insane. I live 20 minutes from La Jolla, without doxing myself too hard. I go online and Google drgeorgepratt.com. It's about $790 a session. So it was like $1,500 for like 3 hours. Paid for it. I drive out there. By the end of that third session with Dr. George, And it would be doing you guys a disservice if I told you everything. If you genuinely want to find more about this, or if you're a very high level entrepreneur, I will say if you're making anywhere above 30K a month, please book the flight out to California, go to his website, and it's probably gonna cost you like 8K in total flying first class. I know all you guys be flying first class. Probably gonna cost you about 8K. It's worth it, times it does. But I sat down in Dr. George's office and I talked to him. Now, if you don't know who Dr. George is, he's a very, very, very well-renowned psychologist and hypnotherapist. And I've never been hypnotized before. I was very skeptical of it. I kind of went in there like, I don't think this is gonna work, but I'm gonna try it. It's worth it. And I told him about this whole thing of me wanting to, pursue a sober life and pursue, just being the best version of myself that I can be. And we went through the sessions and we went through, talking to him. He does a lot of exercises you'll do if anyone actually ends up booking here. And after we did the hypnosis session, which is the craziest experience of my life, probably. It's indescribable. And I might make a separate video on that. He gave me a piece of advice and he was telling me about how one of the reasons that we are stressed and we feel like we have all these things going through our mind and we can't be at peace is because we're making a series of micro decisions every single day for ourselves. And those micro decisions can be good or bad. It's the difference between waking up in the morning and, scrolling on your phone, or waking up and taking a, quick cold shower, hitting the gym and sitting down to work. It's the difference between grabbing a water and grabbing a beer. It's the difference between grabbing DoorDash for dinner or cooking yourself some steak and eggs, or, making a chicken and rice or whatever. Just going what I make. But anyway, that's not the point of the video. I want you guys to understand that for the first time in probably 6 months, I walked out of that office. Everyone kind of says this in his interviews that he's done with people. Everyone has that little voice in their head of this negative self-talk that's sort of just talking down on you 24/7. That voice was gone, utterly gone. It's been gone for 3 months. I don't have a voice in my head that talks negatively to myself and makes me wonder this is gonna fail, is this gonna, no, it's literally gone. I have nothing but happy thoughts and positive things going through my head. And the reason that I tie all this back into that is because I'm not doing things to promote that voice. So I want you guys to understand that if you're going through a hard time, if you're stressed about business, that the chances are that you can fix a lot of it by just optimizing your life and being a healthier version of you. Because I can guarantee you the version of you that's at the revenue number that you want to be at is a very different person. If I go back to the first time I ever hit 10K a month, and I'm a different person than I am now. Different human being. I would sit across from myself at that table and that version of me would look myself now in the eye and not even know who they were talking to. So I want you guys to go implement this and try it for a month. Just try it for a month and see how you feel. If you want some good resources to check out, this is not sponsored, this is not affiliated. I'm just sharing what helped me. You can buy a book from Dr. George Pratt if you're not interested in, booking the flight and doing that. There's a book called Code to Joy by him. Matt Steinweed on YouTube. He has a podcast called Chasing Optimum. It's very good. Blake Rocha's video on sobriety was also incredibly amazing. And then I would go and then audit your own life. Go audit your own life and see what area you could further improve on. And that's what's going to help you in business. And then every single day, open up a journal, first thing you do in the morning, and just write a paragraph about what you're doing that day to make it better. I've been doing this for months now, and my life's been so much different since. So go try this for 30 days. Just give me 30 days. I strongly advise that you just do this for 30 days, and I promise you, you will see amazing results from it. I know this is not the typical video that I usually make on this channel. I promise you guys I'm still gonna be making the value on YouTube, but this was a message that I've been wanting to share for a while, and it got put on my heart today to make this video. And I really want this to at least impact somebody. And whether you're an entrepreneur that maybe this advice gets you to 500K a month, or whether this gets you your first client, I'm so happy that potentially I could have been a part of your journey in that. So go out, be the best version of yourself. We live in a beautiful, beautiful world. We have such amazing lives to wake up every day and chase. No matter what you're going through, you're gonna get through it, and I will see you guys in the next video.